Well, he heads up Australia's largest vertically integrated supply chain. They're in the food processing space, beef cattle, and last night he spoke on the Drought Masters stage with some really interesting comments on the industry. Anthony Lee, thanks for popping into Beef TV.
Thank you for having me.
I was
on a Friday.
On a Friday,
Yeah.
as if you're not busy enough.
I know, it's been good.
You were fantastic on stage last night, as was the entire panel, but one of the things that really struck a chord with me was you talking about agriculture advocating for itself. What do we need to do better?
Unfortunately, my personal view is we're structurally set up incorrectly. So, we make it quite hard for ourselves when we're dealing with big picture issues that affect a whole of agriculture, not just beef, but the whole sector, biosecurity, education, communication, those sort of matters. We don't really have a peak body that sits across the whole thing, like I would liken to a CEO of an organisation. We need the CEO and then we need our subsectors underneath. So I just feel that we're not quite set up there. It makes it hard. I've been really pushing for ag education. It's great, it's in the curriculum, it's a wonderful thing, kids love it. We don't teach it very well. That's not the school's fault, it's not government's fault. In my view, it's our fault. But I think there's a whole lot of solutions, and what we need to do is unite as an industry to fix it. I'm working on that, but it's just taken a lot longer than I would like because I'm having to try and work with 15, 20 organisations versus one peak overall body.
There's a lot of people in the industry and agriculture broadly saying that we need to really focus on ag education in high schools and universities, and you're saying, whoa, that's too late.
Yeah. So imagine you go from, preschool to year 12 with no presence of agriculture and being told by, others that it's not a good industry, that it's a dead-end industry and that you shouldn't go into it. How many people do you think are going to come through that system and then want to go into agriculture? It's too late. The speech I said was give me a child until they are 7 and I'll show you the person, right? So you've got to get in there young. And we've got to get in there year 1. We've got to have a presence. Year 2, we've got to have a presence. Year 3. And if we can do that, then for 2 reasons. One is to bring great people through into our industry, but 2, also for people to understand our industry, our social licence. We're trying to do great things. I think the whole industry is behind sustainability and making great food and all those things. But it's a challenge, right? And we're trying to work through it. There's new tech, there's new innovation, there's new R&D needed. We need great people in our industry to help us, solve these issues and improve on where we are today.
One of the things you take great pride in is bringing corporates and city slickers and internationals and people that are consumers and don't understand agriculture out to your place, out to show them what happens from the paddock to the plate. And last night you were saying that most visitors are very surprised at the bits of a carcass that you do quite well with.
Yeah. I have a view that we need to open up our industry. Some people think that feedlots and Meatworks particularly, like a property's wonderful, right? You go out there, it's beautiful and rolling hills and green grass and cattle. It's lovely. Feedlots and processing are a bit more industrial, but they're a critical part of critical part of the supply chain. Australia does it unbelievably well. We have the most stringent requirements, best animal welfare, all these wonderful things. And I have a personal view that we need to show the consumer that. I love taking people around our factory. We've got a blue mile where you can go in your planes and have a look at all the things. And most people, think that that's a concern. But I have many times taken them through and we spent hours, people that don't want to see it, all of a sudden we're into all the things that go into the MSA, the grading standards and where all the product goes. And as I spoke about last night, the stuff that people don't know about, we take the heart sac off the heart every day and we put it into a slurry. We send it to Edwards Lifesciences in the US and it makes human heart valves, We talked about what the most valuable per kilo pit on the carcass was, and it's the gallstone.
The gallstone. And what is it used for? Remind me, Anthony.
It was we get a couple of $100,000 a kilo for it. There's not a lot of it in the animal, and then Southeast Asians, they slice it thinly, and it's a bit of an aphrodisiac.
Fantastic! It's the oysters of the cattle world.
Exactly, and I suppose what it demonstrates though is we use every single part of the animal, nothing's to waste. And what you need is markets access into all parts of the world, because what you and I consume and think is important and what other parts of the world think is important are all different. And our job is to find a use for every single skerrick of the animal, to make sure that we're maximising the value, but also giving, doing the best by that animal.
Anthony Lee, thanks for your passion, thanks for your knowledge, and thanks for joining Beef TV.
No worries, thanks for having me.
Well, we're crossing into the international